Hi, everybody. So today is Saturday, and that means it's time for family movie night. And today we're continuing on my classic musical month. And today we're talking about a film that I know has problems. It's not perfect, but I still enjoy it for all the good that it has. We're talking about Funny Face. It came out in 1957 and it stars Audrey Hepburn and Fred Astaire. And it is an adaptation of the Broadway musical, but evidently the Broadway musical is like completely different than the story is like completely different. And it only has 4 songs from the Broadway musical in the movie. And then it has one that was written for the Broadway musical, but was never actually used. So 4 or 5, depending on how you want to say. The 4 songs from the musical are Funny Face, Let's Kiss and Make Up, He Loves and She Loves, and It's Wonderful. Of course, It's Wonderful is definitely the most famous song. You've got those Ira and George Gershwin, wonderful songs. The Gershwin brothers, so great. And it's a very simple movie as far as the plot. Basically, Fred Astaire plays the photographer who works for his fashion magazine, and the editor is trying to get the next big thing, the next new thing. And through various conferences, they end up at this bookstore in Greenwich Village. And Audrey Hepburn plays this woman, Jo, who was running the bookstore and is a philosopher. Particularly, she loves this Frenchman named Flostre. And so they like storm into the bookstore and they take over, and they do this shoot, and part of it includes her kind of against her will. And at this point in the movie, you're on her side. Like, they're definitely like being bullies and not listening, and they don't care. You start to lose a lot of sympathy for her character after a while, but this beginning part, we're definitely in her camp. And he kind of stays, Fred Astaire like stays around to kind of help clean up. Everybody else is left, and he actually kisses her. Like, you look like you had a face that needs to be kissed. Why did you kiss me? And it's like a cute back and forth that they have. I think a flaw of this movie is they have absolutely no chemistry at all. He is so much older. He's 30 years older than her, and she had a thing where she was usually paired with people so much older. It's the same thing as Sabrina in Love in the Afternoon. She was always kind of paired with these much older men. I'm not sure why, but and she has kind of a young face, so it makes it even worse. And they just don't have any chemistry at all. So you kind of have to just sort of put that aside, not care about that much for this movie to work. But there are some, really good songs.
Does it show? And who would know? How long has this been going on?
He's like developing the pictures, and he sees and he says, I love your funny face, your sunny, funny face. And it's so ridiculous because Audrey Hepburn had one of the most elegant, beautiful, classic faces in the history of the world ever. The idea that she would have a funny face is absolutely absurd and ridiculous, but nevertheless, that's what we're supposed to believe.
For worlds I'd not replace your sunny, funny face.
He talks to her and basically like says, hey, if you come to Paris for this photo shoot to be the new look, then you can meet this Foster guy and have all your dreams come true. And she decides to do it. And one of the most special things about this movie is these incredible photo shoots that they stage all over Paris. Absolutely stunning. She's usually wearing Givenchy gowns. All the costumes were designed by Edith Head, who was a legend, who did Sabrina. And Audrey Hepburn loved Givenchy also, and Sabrina. And so the costumes and, like I said, these photo shoots are absolutely gorgeous and so much fun to see.
Take the picture.
Stop!
I don't want to stop. I like it. Take the picture. Take the picture.
Probably my favorite part of the whole movie when they're doing like Anna Karenina in front of the train station, and when they got the balloons.
You're happy. Now run. Great. That's great. Let's go. Wonderful.
And by the end of the photo shoot, they get to the church and she's in a wedding dress. And she feels like this is telling a lie. And he's like, well, why? It wasn't true when you were Anna Karenina. It wasn't true, and all these other things. And now she's fallen in love with him. And so she feels like it's supposed to be the happiest day of her life, and it's the saddest day. Well, they end up connecting, and it's very sweet. They still don't have any chemistry, but it's still sweet. And
our cares will fly away if we be happy. The way is clear. Let's kiss and make up.
so this is about the time when she starts to lose me quite a bit as a character, because she's being paid. She's being sent over here by these. She's being paid by these people. She is, has a job to do. She's supposedly in love with Fred Astaire's character, so you think she would care about things that might make him look bad, and she just has no feeling for any sense of responsibility to show up, to do her job. She just doesn't care. If this Floster guy, if he wants her, then she's gonna stay with him, and make no effort to do her job. I don't know. She really starts to lose me in there when she's leaving hundreds of people waiting for her, and she thinks that somehow that Fred Astaire's character is in the wrong by coming and getting her. And so she starts to be kind of annoying after a while, and you're just like, okay, even if you don't like this, you agreed, you're being paid, you're here for a job, you're making the person that you supposedly love look terrible. And so that's definitely frustrating. They also spend a lot of time at this kind of beatnik club, and there's this long dance sequence with Maggie and Dick. She just starts to be a real selfish character. There's also this weird sequence where she is wearing the strangest cape I have ever seen. I mean, that's the one, I guess, Edith had look that I don't get. I don't. It is bizarre. Basically, everything works out because she realized that Flostra is a man, and he kind of makes a pass at her. And she's kind of seen him as almost this cult leader sort of thing, but she snaps out of it, and she comes and is there in time to do the show, the final show, and she thinks that Dick, Fred Astaire's character, has left. He thinks that she is with Flostra, and then he sees Flostra at the airport. And she had crashed a vase over his head, and he said, and this is what Foster tells him. And so he's thrilled because he thought that she was with him. And so he goes back and he finds her at the church, and where they had, fallen in love.
It's wonderful, marvelous.
That's our ending. It's very cute, and it's wonderful. And so yeah, it's a fun movie. Like I said, I love the fashion scenes, the photo shoots. The Gershwin songs are really good. I think it's fun to see Paris in 1957. The costumes, it's an enjoyable little film. I just think that she can be pretty bratty and difficult, and they have no chemistry. So that's the challenges. But I still definitely think it's worth watching. And it's available on Hoopla, the library app, if you have Hoopla. So you can watch it for free if you want. So let me know what you think of Funny Face. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And if any of you have seen the Broadway musical, I'd be curious to know what it's all about. Because like I said, I've heard that this is completely different. So yeah, let me know in the comments section or on Twitter. And please like this video. Please subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. Check out all my Classic Musical Month reviews and all my Family Movie Night reviews. I'll put playlists for both in the description, so please check that out. Please check out the Patreon and merch store. The more patrons that we have, and we have great benefits, the more I can do for you, the more content I can make, the more shows that I can review, all of that fun stuff. Make sure you also check out the Onstage Blog podcast. I've been having so much fun doing that this last couple of months, and we have some really good topics coming up. So please take a look at that. And also check out Hallmarkie's podcast for lots of fun stuff. And let's see. Oh, and check out the merch store. You get I'm a Theater Girl shirts at the merch store and some other new designs. I love rom-coms you can find. So check that out. And thanks so much, everybody. We'll talk to you later.